Part 1, Introduction. You deserve more. Welcome to a new chapter in your life. This is not just another motivational text. Is this a call to action? A wake-up call? A reminder that you are not here by accident. You are here because you want something more. More success, more clarity, more purpose, more life. Let me begin with a truth that too many people forget as they grow older. You were born deserving abundance, not just financial wealth, but also love, happiness, and personal freedom. Somewhere along the way, society convinced you that you had to earn your worth, that you needed to fit into a system, that only the lucky few were meant to succeed. That is a lie. You don't need permission to chase your dreams. You don't need validation from others to rise. You already have everything it takes inside you right now. Look around you. Every person you admire, whether they're wealthy, respected, or free, is simply someone who made a decision. They decided to take control of their life instead of waiting for someone else to do it for them. And that decision began not with talent or luck or connections. It began with belief. Belief in their ability to change. Belief that the life they desired was not only possible, but inevitable if they committed to growth. You might be in a tough situation today. Maybe you feel stuck, overlooked, or behind. That's okay. What matters more is what you decide to do next. Because the moment you take responsibility, the moment you stop blaming circumstances and start owning your future, you become powerful. This journey is not just about improving your English. It's about unlocking the best version of yourself. It's about upgrading your mindset, your habits, your actions, and in doing so, transforming your entire life. So let me say it clearly. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are not alone. If you're ready to rise, everything you've ever dreamed of is within reach. And it starts right now. Part 2. Life is a game, play to win. Imagine for a moment that life is not a struggle, not a punishment, not a burden, but a game. Yes, a game. One that you are already playing, whether you realize it or not. The rules may not have been explained clearly when you were born, but you're in it. Every decision, every setback, every opportunity is part of this great game. And here's the truth, you can win if you learn how to play it right. Right now, you might be facing difficulties. Maybe you're financially unstable. Maybe you feel broken emotionally or overwhelmed mentally. Maybe life has knocked you down again and again until you've begun to question your worth. Let me tell you something important. Every single successful person you admire has been there. They've felt hopeless. They've faced rejection, fear, doubt, and failure. But instead of giving up, they chose to play the game. Life doesn't reward the one who never falls. It rewards the one who always gets back up. That's the first rule. You must keep playing, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. The truth is, pain is part of the process. Pain is the entrance fee to growth, resilience, and breakthrough. It's the test that separates players from winners. The second rule, your mind is your controller. The quality of your thoughts determines how well you play this game. If your mind is filled with fear, doubt, jealousy, and negativity, then your actions will follow that path. But if your mind is trained to seek possibility, to learn from loss, to see obstacles as levels to conquer, then nothing can stop you. You can't change your life until you change the way you think. The third rule, use your weapons wisely. Your skills, your knowledge, your experiences, your story, these are your weapons in the game of life. They are not perfect and they never will be, but they are yours. And when used with consistency and intention, they can take you further than you ever imagined. The person who sharpens their tools every day will always outperform the one who waits for better tools to appear. But there's one trap you must avoid at all costs: comparison. This is the silent killer of dreams. In this game, you are not racing against others. You are racing against your past self. When you compare yourself to someone else's highlight reel, you ignore your own progress. You begin to question your journey and lose focus on your path. And when you do that, you give your power away. Always remember, the only player you must beat is the version of you from yesterday. Improve 1% each day, and you will be amazed at how far you can go in a year. Here's something powerful. You can go anywhere from where you are right now. Let that sink in. You don't need to wait for a perfect start, a lucky break, or the approval of others. The game doesn't care where you begin, it cares how you play. And playing means showing up every single day with courage, with energy, with the hunger to grow. There will be people who try to distract you. There will be people who laugh, criticize, and doubt you. Some of them will be strangers. Some of them will be your friends, even your family. But here's another rule of the game. You don't need their permission to succeed. Their disbelief is not your barrier. It's their own limitation projected onto you. Do not let other people's fears become your reality. When you understand that you are the main character in your own story, you stop waiting for someone to save you. You realize that you have the pen in your hand. You can rewrite your script. You can change the ending. You can restart, rebuild, reinvent yourself again and again until you create the life that you truly want. So how do you win this game? You win by showing up when it's hard, by focusing when others quit, by working in silence and letting your results speak, by refusing to give up when no one believes in you. And you win by becoming so consistent, so relentless, so focused that the world has no choice but to notice. You are already a player in this game. Now is the time to become a champion. Part 3, Universal. Your classic, the only real competition. One of the greatest traps in life is believing that your worth is determined by how you compare to others. From the moment we're born, we are ranked by grades, by appearance, by achievements. We are told who's ahead, who's behind, and who's better. But this way of thinking is not only unhealthy, it's dangerous. Because in the game of life, your only true competition is the person you were yesterday. The truth is, comparison is a thief. It doesn't just steal your joy, it steals your focus, your motivation, and your peace. You see someone achieving more than you, and instead of being inspired, you feel defeated. You scroll through social media and see curated lives filled with success, travel, beauty, and wealth, and suddenly your own life feels small. But what you don't see is the truth behind the pictures. You don't see the struggles they faced, the nights they cried, the sacrifices they made. You don't know how long they've been working quietly before the world noticed them. And most importantly, you don't know if their path is meant for you. Let me remind you, you are running your own race. No one else has your exact story, your specific challenges, or your unique dreams. Trying to match someone else's timeline is like planting a tree and getting angry that it doesn't bloom like a flower. Different route, different seasons, different outcomes. So how do you stop comparing? First, shift your focus inward. Every morning, ask yourself, how can I be better than I was yesterday? Did you procrastinate yesterday? Maybe 10% more focused today. Did you doubt yourself last week? And speak words of encouragement to yourself this week. The path to greatness is not measured by how far ahead someone else is, it's measured by how much you've grown. Second, celebrate your own progress, no matter how small. Maybe you're not where you want to be yet, but you're not where you used to be either. That matters. Every tiny step forward deserves recognition. Give yourself credit for showing up, for trying, for not giving up. Third, create your own metrics for success. Instead of asking, am I richer than them? Ask, am I more disciplined than I was a month ago? Instead of, do I have more followers than others? Ask, am I adding more value today than I did last year? This internal scoreboard is the only one that matters. And most importantly, forgive yourself. Growth is not linear. Some days you'll fail. Some seasons will be slower than others. Because that's okay. As long as you keep moving forward, even an inch, you are winning. Understand this. The most dangerous thing you can do is give up your power by measuring your life with someone else's ruler. You were never meant to be a copy of another person. You were meant to be a better version of yourself every single day. Here's a powerful practice. Stand in front of the mirror and say, I am my only competition. I will not compare. I will not complain. I will only improve. Speak it. Believe it. Never. Because the moment you stop looking sideways, you start walking forward with real power. You are your own standard. You are your own motivation. And if you commit to becoming 1% better every day, there will come a day when you won't even recognize the old version of yourself. The one who hesitated, who doubted, who compared. You'll be too busy evolving. Part 4. Be bad in the eyes of the average. From a young age, most of us are taught to be good, be polite, be agreeable, by the rules. Don't make people uncomfortable. Fit in, follow the system. And while there's nothing wrong with kindness or respect, this version of good often means shrinking yourself to meet other people's expectations. Big out. But if you want to do something big with your life, if you want to rise beyond average, you're going to have to be bad. Not bad in the sense of immoral, illegal, or irresponsible. No. You must be bad in the eyes of the average. Because the truth is, the average person doesn't chase dreams. They protect comfort. And when you break free from that comfort, they will label you as rebellious, arrogant, or even foolish. You decide to skip the party to work on your goals. You're no fun. You want to quit your stable job to launch your own business? You're irresponsible. You don't follow the traditional path of marriage and 9 to 5 and a mortgage at 30. You're strange. But here's what they don't see. They're watching your courage through the lens of their fear. You have to stop trying to please everyone. That includes your family, your friends, your teachers, even your mentors, because what worked for them might not work for you. Their advice comes from their life, but your dreams were not given to them, they were given to you. Take a moment and ask yourself, how much of my life have I lived for others? How many times have I said yes when I meant no? How many times have I followed the safe route just to be accepted? And what did it bring you? Approval? Maybe. But fulfillment? Probably not. There's a truth that will set you free. You don't need to be liked to be successful. You don't need to be understood to be powerful. In fact, the more you grow, the less people will understand you. That's okay. Growth separates you from the crowd. Exposito. Think of every person who changed the world. Steve Jobs was crazy. Elon Musk is too ambitious. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for TV. What do they have in common? They broke the rules created by people who settled for less. Now, this doesn't mean disrespecting people or ignoring wisdom. It means knowing the difference between living traditions and honest values. It means knowing when to challenge advice that keeps you small. It means saying, I hear you, but I choose to listen to my own voice now. To truly grow, you must be willing to disappoint others in order to stay true to yourself. Let people talk. Let them judge. They'll have rolled their eyes. Their opinions won't build your dream. Their approval won't fund your business. Their comfort won't make you great. No, your future belongs to the bold, not the obedient. Yes, it takes courage. You might feel guilty at first. You might lose people, but you'll gain something far greater. Your authenticity, your freedom, your future. Being bad also means choosing discipline over distraction. While others sleep in, you wake up early. While others scroll, you study. While others settle, you stretch. While others laugh at your ambition, you quietly build the life they'll envy later. And when they say you've changed, smile and say, I was meant to. This is your permission to stop living a life that pleases everyone but you. This is your invitation to break rules that limit you, not laws that protect you. This is your call to be bold, brave, different, yes, even bad, if that's what it takes to become your highest self. Because greatness doesn't look polite. It looks powerful. Part 5, Unstoppable. Your fire through failure. If you want to achieve something extraordinary in life, prepare to be misunderstood. Prepare to be doubted, laughed at, ignored, even insulted. That's not a sign you're failing. That's a sign you're moving. Because every great person was first seen as a fool before they were respected as a genius. You know what people said about Steve Jobs when he dropped out of college? That he was a quitter, a failure. What did they say about Elon Musk when his first rockets exploded and Tesla nearly collapsed? That he was crazy. That he didn't know what he was doing. When Cristiano Ronaldo trained hours longer than his teammates, sacrificing fun and comfort for greatness, they called him obsessive. But look at him now. You see, success doesn't begin with applause. It begins with resistance, with silence, rejection, and pain. What separates champions from the rest isn't their talent or luck. It's what they do when the world turns its back. They keep going. You will fall. You will make mistakes. You will feel discouraged. People will talk behind your back. Some even hope you fail. And yes, there will be moments when giving up seems easier than going on. But let me tell you something powerful. Pain is not your enemy. It's your fuel. Pain will introduce you to your strength. Rejection will push you toward reinvention. Failure will teach you lessons success never could. You might not see it now, but every hardship you're going through is preparing you, sharpening you, molding you into someone who can carry the weight of your dreams. Too many people give up after one failure, one mistake, one criticism. They take failure personally, like it's proof they're not good enough. But failure is not final, it's feedback. The most dangerous moment in anyone's journey is when they believe a temporary defeat defines their permanent destiny. Don't fall into that trap. Think about this. If you were to build muscle in the gym, what's required? Resistance, rotation. Growth never comes without strain. The same is true for your mind, your resilience, and your character. If everything were easy, you'd never grow. You'd never develop the toughness required for real success. The strongest people are not the ones who've had smooth paths. They're the ones who kept walking when the path disappeared. Do you want to know the secret of becoming unstoppable? You stop waiting for the world to believe in you and start believing in yourself. Because the truth is, not everyone will support you, and that's okay. They don't need to. Their support is a bonus, not a requirement. You don't need cheerleaders. You need clarity. You don't need fans. You need fire. You don't need permission. Rubbish. You need purpose. And your purpose must be stronger than your excuses. Your reason must be bigger than your fears. When people doubt you, don't argue, outwork them. When they laugh, don't explain, prove them wrong. Let your results speak so loudly that their doubt becomes irrelevant. The difference between winners and everyone else is not the winners never fall, it's that they always get back up one more time than they fall. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be brave for 5 seconds longer than your fear. Long enough to take the first step. Long enough to speak up. Long enough to try again. Because on the other side of fear is power. And on the other side of failure is freedom. Right now, the world may not know your name, and they may not see your effort. They may not believe in your vision. But none of that matters if you don't give up. But the question is not, will life knock you down? Well, it already has. The real question is, will you rise? And if your answer is yes, even through the tears, the exhaustion, the doubt, then nothing and no one can stop you. You are not finished. You are just getting started. Part 6, train your mind and body, daily discipline. If you want to create a powerful life, you must train the two most important tools you own, your mind and your body. Talent can give you a head start. Intelligence may open doors. But it is discipline, the quiet, consistent daily actions that separates those who wish from those who achieve. Most people fail not because they aren't capable, but because they aren't consistent. They only work when they feel motivated. They only show up when it's convenient. But here's the truth. Success doesn't care how you feel, it rewards how you act. Let's begin with the mind. Your mind is your command center. It decides whether you get out of bed or hit snooze, whether you focus or get distracted, and whether you take risks or stay stuck. But the mind is like a wild horse. If you don't train it, it controls you. How do you train your mind? Start by waking up early. This isn't just about joining the 5 a.m. club. It's about taking control of your day before the world does. When you rise, before the noise begins, before texts, emails, responsibilities, you gain a quiet space to think, plan, and reflect. And you begin the day on your terms. In the early hours, you have clarity. Use that time to journal, meditate, read, set your intentions. Most importantly, use that time to focus on your goals without distractions. Because once the world wakes up, it pulls at you. Notifications, demands, opinions. If you start your day reactive, you'll spend the rest of it playing defense. But if you start proactive, you own your time, your energy, and your decisions. Now let's talk about the body. You don't need a six-pack. You don't need to run marathons. But you do need to move your body daily. Why? because your body is your vessel. If it is weak, tired, or neglected, everything else suffers. Your focus, your confidence, even your mood. Just 10 to 20 minutes a day of intentional movement, push-ups, squats, jumping jacks, stretching, running, yoga, will change everything. Not just your health, but your identity. Yeah, because every time you train your body, you're sending yourself a message: I care about my life. I care about how I show up. A strong body produces a strong mind. The discipline you build through exercise spills into your work, your relationships, and your goals. And here's something few people understand. Discipline is a skill, not a personality trait. You don't have to be born with it. You can build it like a muscle. Every time you show up, even when it's hard, you grow stronger. Every time you do the work, especially when no one is watching, you earn self-respect. And self-respect fuels self-belief. Avoid the trap of shallow effort. Most people are busy all day and yet achieve little. Why? Because their attention is scattered. They multitask, switch tabs, check phones every 5 minutes, and never go deep. The solution is deep work, blocking out 3 to 5 hours a day for focused, undistracted progress on a single skill or project. Turn off notification. Put your phone away. Commit fully to the task. Even just 2 hours of true deep work is more valuable than an entire day of scattered effort. In today's noisy world, the person who can focus wins. But none of this works unless you take care of the basics: sleep, hydration, nutrition. Your brain needs fuel. Your body needs rest. You are not a machine, but when you treat yourself with care, you perform like a champion. Here's the truth. There are no shortcuts. You can't hack your way to greatness. But if you master your mornings, train your body, and protect your focus, you will rise faster than anyone expects. Discipline is not punishment. It's freedom. The freedom to wake up proud. The freedom to trust yourself. The freedom to create results while others make excuses. Train your mind, train your body, and the rest of your life will follow. Part 7. Silence over hype, mass, and shadows. In today's world, it's easy to believe that if people don't see your progress, it doesn't count. We live in an era of likes, shares, and constant updates. Everyone seems eager to announce their plans, broadcast their goals, and seek validation before they've even started. But the truth is, the strongest moves are made in silence. If you want to build something great, do it quietly. If you want to become someone powerful, grow when no one is watching. Because mastery is not loud. It is disciplined, focused, and invisible until the results make noise. Why should you work in silence? Because when you tell the world your every step, you invite resistance before results. You give people the opportunity to inject doubt, criticism, or unwanted advice. You expose your confidence to opinions that don't deserve access to it. And most importantly, talking can become a substitute for action. Announcing goals gives you a false sense of progress. You feel rewarded without actually doing the work. That's why so many people say they'll start a business, write a book, or change their life. Years go by and nothing happens. The winners don't need to declare what they're about to do. They just do it. Then one day the world looks up and says, where did that come from? It came from long nights. It came from a rejection they never mentioned. It came from a sacrifice no one saw. It came from the shadows. You don't need applause to begin. You don't need attention to improve. You don't need anyone's awareness, just your own. Stop oversharing. Keep your goals sacred. Hold your energy. Tell people what you've done, not what you plan to do. Let your results be your resume. Let your response. Let your silence be your strategy. Because when the moment is right, your work will speak louder than any announcement ever could. Part 8. Think like a boss. Escape the employee trap. From the moment we're children, we're programmed to follow a specific path. Go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, and work for someone else until retirement. Few ever question it. Fewer still break free from it. But if you're reading this, chances are you feel like you were made for something more. Ask yourself this: why is school designed to create employees, not leaders? Why do most parents push us towards job security, but never toward financial freedom? Why does society reward obedience over creativity? The answer is simple. The system isn't built to make you free. It's built to make you manageable. And if you don't wake up, you'll spend your entire life building someone else's dream, following someone else's orders, living by someone else's plan. Now, there's nothing wrong with working a job temporarily. Sometimes a job gives you the skills, the income, or the structure you need at a specific point in life. But it becomes a trap when you forget it's a stepping stone, not the destination. Thinking like a boss doesn't mean starting a company tomorrow. It means taking ownership of your time, your energy, and your vision. It means asking bigger questions like, how can I create value instead of just doing tasks? How can I build something that lasts even when I'm not working? How can I stop trading hours for income and start building assets that work for me? A boss doesn't wait for permission, they create the opportunity. A boss doesn't fear risk, they manage it. A boss doesn't follow trends, they set them. You don't need to be born rich, brilliant, or connected to become a leader. You just need to decide, I will not live on someone else's terms. Start with one idea, one service, one solution to a problem you understand deeply. Build it. Fail. No. Build again. And repeat until it grows. The world doesn't need more employees. It needs more thinkers, more creators, more people are bold enough to say, I'm not waiting for a paycheck, I'm building my own. So don't just think about what job you want next. Ask yourself, what kind of life do I want to design? And then think like the architect. Think like the boss. Part 9, conquer fear. No one is coming to save you. Fear is the invisible prison that keeps most people from living the life they truly want. It shows up in many forms: fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of losing comfort. But underneath it all, fear whispers one poisonous lie. You can't handle what's on the other side. And so most people stay exactly where they are. They don't start the business because they're afraid to go broke. They don't speak their truth because they're afraid of being judged. They don't chase their dreams because they're afraid they might not make it. But here's the brutal truth. Fear is not the real problem. Waiting is. Waiting for someone to believe in you. Waiting for perfect timing. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for someone, anyone, to come and help you. But nobody's coming. Not your parents. Not your boss. But your friends. Not your government. This is your life, and if you don't take control, you will lose control slowly, silently, until your whole future is on autopilot. You have to become your own hero, because once you realize that no one is responsible for your success but you become unstoppable. You stop blaming, you stop complaining, and you start building. As for fear, it never goes away, but it can be beaten by action. Fear hates movement. It thrives on hesitation. It feeds off indecision. But the moment you take a step, even a small one, fear begins to shrink. And you realize it wasn't a wall, it was a shadow. And shadows disappear in the light of courage. So speak, even if your voice shakes. Strive, even if you fail the first time. Move, even if you're not sure where the path leads. Because the longer you wait, the more your dreams decay. Understand this. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else matters more. Your future, or your freedom, your purpose. That's what matters. No one is coming to save you, and that's the best news ever. Because it means you don't have to wait anymore. You can save yourself. Right? Yeah. Wait, no. Part 10, master your time, make every day count. Time is the most valuable currency you will ever possess. You can lose money and earn it back. You can lose people and find others. But once time is gone, it's gone forever. And yet, most people live like they have unlimited time. They wake up late. They scroll for hours. They procrastinate. They say, I'll do it tomorrow, not realizing that tomorrow is a thief. It steals dreams disguised as second chances. If you want to transform your life, you must start by transforming how you use your time. Every day is a brick. You are either building something with it or throwing it away. Every hour is an investment. You are either compounding your growth or your regrets. So, How do you take control? Start by treating each day like a sacred opportunity. Don't plan your day by accident, design it with intention. Wake up with a purpose. Write down your top priorities. Schedule time for deep work, for learning, for health, and even for rest. Avoid the trap of busyness. Many people confuse motion with progress. But doing 100 small, shallow tasks isn't progress. It's distraction disguised as productivity. Focus on the few things that move your life forward. Say no more often. Protect your time like it's your most precious asset, because it is. Remember, consistency beats intensity. It's not about what you do once in a while, when you're inspired. It's about what you do every day, even when you don't feel like it. Those small daily actions compound into massive results over time. One wasted hour becomes one wasted day. One wasted day becomes one wasted week. One wasted week becomes a year, and eventually a wasted life. Don't let your future self look back with regret. Learn to look back with pride, because the life you want isn't built in a day, but it is built daily. Part 11. Final words from average to unstoppable. This is where your old story ends and your new chapter begins. You've made it through fear, doubt, comparison, resistance, and excuses. You've heard the truth that you are the author of your life, the architect of your future, the only one who can decide what happens next. And now there is only one thing left to do: act. No more waiting, no more wishing, no more wasting time. The world is filled with average people doing average things, living average lives, not because they're not capable, but because they never decided to break free. They never said enough. They never looked in the mirror and said, "This ends with me." But you are not one of them. You are not here to be invisible. You are not here to survive. You are here to become unforgettable. That doesn't mean you have to be famous. It means you live with such intensity, such truth, such unstoppable fire that everyone who crosses your path feels your presence, even in silence. You become the person who doesn't wait to be chosen. You choose yourself. You don't seek permission. You give yourself permission. You don't follow the crowd. You become the reason others rise. Your life is not defined by your current struggles. Your bank account, your grades, your background, your past mistakes, none of them define your future. What defines you is what you do now with what you have where you are. So get up. Don't. Fail. Learn. Try again. Repeat until one day the life you dreamed of becomes the life you live. And when that day comes, the same people who doubted you will say, "I always knew you could do it." Smile. Not out of arrogance, but out of peace. Because deep down, you always knew it too. This isn't the end of a message. It's the beginning of momentum. You don't need motivation, you need a mission. You don't need approval, you need belief. You don't need more time, you need to start now. Do a goal. Be bold. Be disciplined. Be relentless. And above all, never stop until you win.